I can't get a word in with trucker protests supported. Like people are mad at me for not for saying like I support you.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's Nazis. And they're like, you idiot, you're soft.
Yeah.
You're the reason why they're gonna take over. You're too soft. People are just pissed about it.
And this is a great forum because I can just spew whatever thoughts I have and there's no one to yell back at me. Because usually I'm debating my buddies in like a pub or something.
Yeah.
Like pissed. I'm waiting for someone to tell me to fuck off, but it's not gonna happen here. Maybe.
I don't think so. Maybe. They could though. They could. They're pretty pro trucker, I feel like. Last time too. But
listen, I'm pro trucker too.
Yeah.
I'm pro like what their cause is. I'm against mandates as well.
Yeah.
So getting to my point, I think the thing is that this protest is morphed into its own little thing, right? Which is now people are against all men. They don't want to wear masks.
Yeah.
You know, I get people don't want to take vaccines. That's fine. That's your personal choice. I took a vaccine. But the problem is that nobody wants to follow any rules at this point. Like I get they want to drop the vaccine passports. I get all that. But at what point, like it's like they don't want any rules, right?
Yeah.
So
that's their demand. Any rules?
Well, demand, and now they're getting to it's getting into they're pulling in other. I don't want to call it fringe, but they're pulling in like other elements of it. Like you're getting, which is probably not part of the trucker protest.
Big Fox
but
News push.
But you're getting like white supremacists that are getting involved, and it's probably only like 1 or 2% of that element. But now it's like you're pulling in all the crazies, is what you're doing.
Right.
It started off as like a good mainstream clean protest, and then now you're getting in all the crazies.
Right. So you're okay with Trudeau just going in with the cops, clean it out.
Okay. So here's my thing with the cop thing, right? When it was a peaceful protest, it was fine. Now, what you have is not a protest anymore. You have a blockade. Like you have people setting up like hot tubs, childcare. There's like big screen TVs.
No, that's a protest. That's
not a protest.
You got to put a whole community together, just like the farmers' protest in India. Like you can't just go there for 2 or 3 weeks without the logistics of like, what are we going to eat? What are we going to? Where's our fuel? How do we keep ourselves warm? What do I do with my family?
But at what point? Okay, so what point does it become a protest, and then does it become a blockade? Right? Like people have to go about their lives.
A blockade is just one form of protesting. So it counts as, this is what I mean, where a lot of people on the left, and look, in France, they are so down for this. I feel like Canada's soft.
The French are good protesters.
They say "Vive la France, liberté, égalité." I don't give a shit.
The French,
they don't even know what they're protesting after that.
In France, they will protest harder than they go to work, man. Like protesting is work for them.
They do. They're at work. They'll say, "Protest, I'm out."
That's it, man.
That's how. But I feel like Canada, we're a little soft on that. So we see things like this is called political action. You know, like if you want to make a change, you do have to make it hurt. Now, non-violence means you don't hit anyone. The loud horns are even maybe a bit of a violence thing. But doing a strategic blockade is technically like counts as
I want to talk about the non-violence thing in a second because that's a good point. But like let's talk about blocking the border, for example.
Okay.
Right? What's your opinion on the blocking of the border?
I mean, it's type political action, and these lefties needed to be doing shit like that.
So when they block the border, who are they protesting when they block the border?
They're making all of our lives uncomfortable.
Sorry to sound like a fucking teacher.
100%.
I'm doing the Socratic method here. I'm trying to I'm trying to pull information out by.
They are trying to make all of our lives uncomfortable so that we all become aware of their issue. It's just like when those Tamil Tigers in Toronto. Remember when they blocked the QEW in Toronto? Or the DVP.
Sounds familiar.
There's like a Tamil Tiger protest when we were in high school, and they blocked the DVP, and that's when I was first like, well, that's not allowed. You can't block it. People have to go to work, and that's the first time someone told me that. Like that's kind of what political action is. You're disrupting people's lives so that they can non-violence, no fighting, no whatever. But you're blocking you're
trying to get people's attention. You're trying to get people's attention, and I get that.
So blockade to me is like.
So here's my thing, right? The whole idea with the initial premise of the trucker protest is that we were protesting on behalf of truckers that don't want to be forced to get vaccinated, right? Yeah. So the statistic out there, whether it's true or not, is that 90% of truckers are in Canada are vaccinated, 10% are not, right? So the mandate protest was for those 10% of truckers that were not vaccinated, right?
Okay, yeah. It is only 10%. That is like not a good look for them.
Right, and 10% is equivalent to about 16,000 Canadians, right?
Yeah.
About 40 million Canadians, and there's about 16,000 that were.
It does seem like everyone has the vaccine. Like I don't know who. That's the other thing too. Is like who are they? If like 90% of them have.
Sure, and I think Ontario, the numbers around 85 or 90% of people are vaccinated. Ontario, different provinces have varying numbers, whatever. But the thing I'm trying to get at is like, if you're protesting on behalf of the people, why are you blocking the border? Because all you're doing is preventing blue collar Canadians from going to work.
Yeah.
Blue collar truck drivers. By the way, they interviewed people on that were stuck on the American side that were Canadians, and they're like, "Dude, what are you doing? You're not protesting for my rights. I'm at work.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get these goods across the border. I'm trying to get food on the shelves.
Yeah.
And you're protesting for me? No, you're protesting for yourself, and it's selfish. You're not protesting for Canadians. You're protesting for yourself because I don't agree with it." Now, whether people agree with this, there's a study that was put out by McMaster University, and I'm going to paraphrase whatever. I'm not going to quote exactly, but it was something like 70 or 75% of Canadians are not in support of the blockades.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're gonna make political change, and you're gonna get basically it's like Trudeau said, it's a small fringe of people that are not vaccinated, right? And disrupting people's lives, where 90% of Canadians let's go about our business. Let's go back to work.
77%.
Something, it was 70% or something that don't support.
But I got to say though, do you think without them, during when this started, within 2 weeks, a couple of provinces dropped other mandates.
Got to give them credit.
I got to give them credit.
Got to give them credit.
That's so good.
Got to give them credit. And like I said,
it's so nice to go out.
I give them credit if they stick linearly to what the issue is. But it's starting to spread into all these other things. Now, the other thing too is they blocked. So one of the things they said initially about having mandates for truckers was that 10% of truckers are not going to be vaccinated. So already we have supply chain issues. We're not getting products on the shelf, right? Because of the pandemic itself, right? And products from China, there's supply chain issues. I work in this type of business or environment, so I'm well aware of it. So essentially they were saying, but then if you further create supply chain issues by removing 10% of truckers from the road, there's going to be stockouts on the shelves. Shelves are going to go empty.
Yeah.
Right. Have you been to the grocery store lately?
No.
Or have you been to the mall? Are you seeing stockouts anywhere?
Yeah.
And the funny thing is
the mall, there's actually one store I go to, Hot Topic. They have nothing there.
Really?
They have nothing. Dude, I go
What's
in,
Hot
I'm
Topic?
Hot Topic is a store that sells shit like this, shirts like this.
Okay.
They're just a silly store.
Okay.
And because of that, I discovered Spencer's, which actually sells more spiritual gear that I bought. I bought that eyeball over there. I'll show people in a second.
That's an eyeball. Cool.
Yeah, but Spencer's is stacked.
Okay.
Hot Topic, I went in. I'm like, oh, cool. You guys are minimalizing.
Yeah.
You're making it look cool.
Yeah,
and dude, because it's usually you can't walk in.
Yeah,
here.
that's our new branding. That's our new.
Great new branding. They're like,
that's our trucker protester branding.
Supply shortages.
Yeah.
So not one shelf is empty, but they're down to no shelf.
Well,
just the walls and just 2 things in the middle.
But they were saying the mandates would cause this issue. It wasn't the mandates that caused it. It was literally the people that were screaming and saying the federal government's going to cause issues. They're going to cause stockouts because of this mandate. Truckers are not going to be able to move goods. That wasn't it. It was actually the protesters. The protesters were blaming something on the federal government that they themselves ended up causing.
They caused it, yeah.
Right.
They blocked shipments and
so there's a hypocrisy there as well, right?
Yeah.